in the cabinet, but he also, among other elements, into the new administration of term no.
It's morning at NTV, Steve Day on Face Chibuga, coming to you from Blange in Mengo. It's a pleasure meeting the Katikkiro of Uganda, seasoned lawyer, Wechitiwa Charles Peter Maiga. It's meeting you, Wechitiwa.
Thank you very much for having me to be here.
And I have to congratulate you for making it as the Katikkiro of Uganda.
Thank you very much.
You just come from overseas, basically in Germany, European Union, in Europe. Just came back the other day. What are the fruits of your trip to Germany and the neighboring countries, young countries?
I went to Germany in order to meet the Baganda residing in Europe. Baganda and their friends, because there were some non-Baganda attended the Buganda Convention. The purpose is to ensure that the subjects of the king residing in the diaspora are linked effectively with us who are here. You see, you get affected by the environment around you. If you reside in Europe 5, 10, 15 years, you are likely to shift your attitudes and your way of seeing things towards the way the people with whom you live conduct themselves. So we don't want that to happen. Kabaka doesn't want that to happen, because while it be a resident of Germany or Sweden or Netherlands, you might even be a citizen of those countries. Your origin here. And it's important, don't lose sight of the fact that the clan system that determines the way we conduct lives on a daily basis as people of Buganda. We must lose sight of the fact that it's important for the children born in Europe to understand that they come from Buganda, from Uganda as their original home. It's important to not get the mother tongue, because language is always the deposit, the custodian of our values and heritage. So when we go interface with the people in Europe, it helps them to keep in touch with the roots. But also, we want to know what's happening back home in London, especially news concerning the king, news concerning the government, news concerning the clans to which different people belong. We think that's very, very important for in the diaspora, much more important than you are a resident here. But we'll focus on personal development. Europe is a very diverse and big market. We encourage people to invest in the European market because they're diverse, very, very profitable by and large. And if they where they are resident in the big and diverse markets, the profits that they realize should be channeled home. It will be the other way around, because it's a smaller market. This is a narrower market, this smaller market. It's they invest in the diverse and big markets where they reside in Europe. Then the profits may be channeled home. So these were the messages we carried to them. We were very warmly received, we were very appreciative.
Great. While were you away, we saw the President releasing his cabinet that is going to serve with in this current term of years. And some of the people were excited. You know what? Uganda has now gotten 21 minutes. Is this something that is welcome? The kingdom is welcome?
Well, proportionate reputation is fair. Buganda is the most vast region in the country. So when picking members of the executive, and the executive sets the places on which the country is run, and each region needs representation. In all fairness, and since Buganda is the most vast, it is good that a good number of people from were picked. But I said that the focus should be on the quality of the nominees, because it is not enough that a person from my village is named of health. As long as there is no medicine in the hospital where I go when I'm not working, as long as no medical workers, as long as there is no medical equipment, it's not that the man at the head of the ministry is from my village. What is important are people of reasonable quality, who can initiate policy, can deliver the country. For me, that is key. So, for example, I don't know how many Catholics are in it. I'm a Catholic. But that's not my main concern. I'm concerned about the sense. I'm concerned about the education we get I'm concerned about infrastructure. I'm concerned about, that young people can pick up. I'm concerned about environmental protection. I'm concerned about protection of our heritage and views in the different nationalities of the country. So, for me, the key word is the quality of the nominees, the caliber of the nominees. Although proportionate representation is only fair.
The people that Kabaka gave you the mantle to head into, some of them, up to now, them haven't been able, their kid cause, downtown in Kampala and urban areas, people have been swept also in form of trade and abandoning. How should be handled?
First of all, the urban must operate from gazelles. It's not up to every urban dweller to set up his or her business wherever they think convenient or they think is good for business. Where we set up kiosks and stores must be regulated by urban authorities worldwide. And this is what leads to the development of urban cities. And what actually leads to the well-being, if I may, of the residents of any area. So, no one is at liberty to set up a stall wherever they is. But having said that, a program can work out. And for me, it's simple to an area, urban or peri-urban centers, where the stalls be located. I think it's very difficult. In many countries, actually, in cities, in many towns, there are areas specifically reserved for street vendors, even if they are food vendors and other kind of vendors. And they set up their stalls and kiosks in arranged areas. Properly, actually, they are tourists. They can be tourist attractions. I went to Bangkok, and I went to buy food along the streets. The food vendors are in such a way that the tourists can visit them and buy food. They are very, very popular, and the people who open these food stalls are licensed. But they are also inspected by health inspectors to ensure that they don't harm people who buy the food. And they make, I think, millions of dollars from them. Those tourists want to see the kind of food that is being, sold along it. And they are well organized. The kiosks and the stalls must be designed centrally. They must be
gotten from these people. Be happening.
We don't know whether the investigations are over. And if the investigations are over, then there should be taken the courts over. And then it should be a course to determine whether what gathered is sufficient to punish anyone. Whether, if there is any gotten wealth from the public offers, that's up to the courts. They did what they decide, depending on the evidence before the courts of law. I cannot say, because Mr. Ambid, I am not going to condemn. I'm not condemn Peter Among.
The friend to Uganda.
It has nothing to do with it. I don't condemn anyone who has not been subject to due process. Among or everybody else must be subject to due process. The investigations should be out lawfully. Then the should be placed in a competent court with the competent jurisdiction. The courts should announce themselves evidence that shall be tabled against them. I cannot condemn Anita Among or anybody else because, like you said, I'm a lawyer, and the due process that we are talking about is what demands that everybody should be treated fairly, and everybody must be innocent till proven guilty. And so courts of law that can prove people guilty or guilty, and I'm not a court of law.
I should appreciate you and congratulate you once again for making it 13 years as the Katikkiro of Uganda.
Thank you very much. Ebola must be fought shaking. Again, we do that. And then we use sanitizer soap.
Thank you.